Hello, beloved. I'm James Henry, and I want to remind you you are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. I've been spending a little time recently asking myself how I am spending my energy. I've reached a point in my life when I don't have quite as much energy as I did, say, 30 or 40 years ago. And so I am also learning that I'm a finite human being and there is a limit to how much energy, how much time, how much effort I can give to any one thing. I think it's an important lesson to realize that we are not infinite. We're infinitely precious, but we're not infinite. And the amount of time, particularly in this form, that we have to give is limited. So I've been asking myself if I've been spending myself the way that is most in keeping with who I am, with who I'm meant to be, with the gifts that I have. I like to come to the end of a day and feel spent, to have used my energy wisely, to have given it in an emotional conversation with someone or in teaching a class about healthy relationships to a group of people, or sharing good news that everyone is loved just because of the gift they already are. And when I come to an end of, and all the other little things that come along that are required for the work that I do in this world, but I like to feel as though I like to ask the question, is this the way I am meant to be spent? These gifts that I have, my energy renews to some extent, and my gifts are evolving and becoming different, unique, more honed. How can I engage the world? And so I thought, as I've been reflecting on that I might ask you what you're spending your life on. Whatever place you find yourself in life, you might be fairly young and engaging in a starting job or a further along than starting job. You might be in the public service sector. You might be in the health sector. You might be still in school. You might have retired. You might be towards the end of your career, whatever that may be, or the work that you imagine you'll do before you retire yourself into a different kind of place. But how are you spending yourself? In what ways are you spending yourself? I encourage you, I use my journal as a tool for this, looking at and taking a look at the time that I have spent in various ways throughout the day. And some of the ways in which I spend myself are ways that rejuvenate me. Taking a walk on a pristine early fall day, like I'm experiencing today here where I am, or sitting quietly and drinking my coffee while I gaze out the window and listen to the breeze and the birds in the trees. We get to choose and be intentional about the way that we spend ourselves. And sometimes it's just being in someone else's company, just being. When I talk about being spent and spending ourselves, sometimes we think it's and I had to reflect on this myself. It's all about what we do. Again, we live in a world that seems to treat us like human doings, not human beings, as if what we do matters so much more than who we are, when it's quite frankly the opposite way around. It is out of who we are that we do what we do in the best of all possible moments. Even when we're doing what seems to be a menial task, I am bringing me to that task. You are bringing you to that task. So, what would it be like if you were a bit more careful about the way you spent yourself? I know that paying attention to energy and its use is something that we do in the house. Right now, I have more lights on than I probably need to, but I want to be sure I've got plenty of light so that I can be seen when I'm talking to you in this. So, but when I finish, will I remember to turn off the extra light that really is doing nothing particular for me other than providing a light on this side of my face? Um, do I need to have all of my computers plugged in and running simultaneously? Do I need to have all the lights on? Do I need to be running the thermostat at the temperature it's at? Those are questions we ask about our houses and the places we live, wherever that is. Are we asking those questions about ourselves? Are there certain parts of our life that we seem to spend a lot of energy in, but it's just not beneficial? It doesn't it doesn't bring us any return. It doesn't use the gift that we've been given. Now, sometimes we have to have a job, a work that we do that is the least favorite part. Or maybe you have a job like mine. There are parts I love, and then there are the administrative parts. I do them, and I'm capable of doing them, but they do not in any way energize me. They're necessary, and so I do them. But I'd much rather be doing a moment like this, or writing an article for my website, or journaling, reading a good book that will challenge the way I see and engage the world. Those are the kinds of things I'd rather be doing. So sometimes we end up spending ourselves in ways that seem less energetically wise, but are necessary, So all I'm inviting each of us to do, and that includes me on this journey that we're on together, is to ask, how am I spending this time, this energy, this gift I've been given? How am I sharing it out into the world? Am I being wise in the way that I'm giving myself and spending myself? Are there things I could be more wise about? Are there ways I could spend myself that would perhaps bring different or more positive results into my life? I'm not asking you to judge your life or my life, quite frankly. I'm asking you to, or inviting you, as I have myself, to reflect on the life, this one wild and wonderful life that you've been given, and ask yourself how best to spend who you are in the world. I invite you to that pondering, to spend yourself wisely, because you do matter, because you are infinitely precious, you are unconditionally loved, and you are a unique gift, just as you are. And how might you squander that gift in the best possible way to bring joy and hope and love into the world? Questions worth asking. So until the next time I see you, I invite you, ponder those questions. What is the best way to spend yourself? For you are